List. That's an extensive list. Hello guys, I am Han. This is Kelly.
Hello everyone.
We are Han Meditations and we're back with another video. This one's going to be so interesting, guys. I'm excited to do this one because I actually want to know and I want to hear. Everybody hears is haram, haram, this is haram, that is haram. But, we just don't know together. So we want to actually learn what is haram and what is not haram so that we can kind of get a base level of an entire list of what is haram. So let's go ahead and figure out everything that is haram and let's go ahead and do it together. So...
It's of utmost importance that we really brush out this issue of haram because it seems to be so scary to people who are not familiar with Islam, especially people who are still seeking the truth and looking for ways to get guidance. Actually, it may shock you to know that Islam is the only religion that basically says that everything in its natural state is halal. Everything is permitted unless that which the creator of human being, unless that which Allah deems it necessary to declare as haram. And Allah does not declare anything as haram except something that is actually harmful to us. Meaning the things that are haram in Islam can be really counted. Meanwhile, the things that are halal in Islam can never be counted. It is just the same as the ni'mah of Allah, which Allah says, وَإِن تَعُدُّوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ لَا تُحْصُوهَا. And if you were to count the blessings of Allah, you will never be able to count them. Why? Because there are so many. So you don't have to be scared when you hear that doing this is haram in Islam or doing that is haram in Islam. The first thing you have to know is it is for your own good. Upon all the things that we drink, Allah made only alcohol haram. Why? Because it intoxicates our brain. Of all the animals that are lawful to us that we eat, the numerous animals, Allah made pork haram to us. Why? Because it damages our health. The worst thing that a human being can ever do to himself is to worship the one who did not create him. That is why Allah made shirk haram to all of us. When you compare Islam to other nations, you will find out that there are things that people from those nations, people from those religions declared unlawful and haram on themselves. Meanwhile, Allah did not declare those things haram to them. Like the children of Israel, Allah says in the Quran, كل الطعام كان حل لبني إسرائيل إلا ما حرم الإسرائيل على نفسه. Everything, all the food was lawful to the children of Israel unless that which Israel made unlawful to himself. Meaning Allah kept everything lawful to them. But there are certain things that they chose by themselves and declared unlawful to themselves. Can you imagine? And Allah says about the Christian, وَرَهْبَانِيَّةً ابْتَدَعُوهَا. As for the monasticism, they declared it upon themselves. Allah did not ask the nuns or the reverend fathers or the bishops to abstain from women and never to get married. But they declared it upon themselves. And when you compare to Islam, you find Islam as a religion full of mercy upon humanity. Allah knows that we are weak and He knows that there are certain things that we cannot live without. So He couldn't declare unlawful for us.
Hello, ChatGPT. Using what you know about Islam, the Muslim faith, and what is actually in the Quran and in maybe high quality hadiths, but let's start with the Quran. What would you say a list of things that are, haram, like a known list of things that are absolutely haram that you shouldn't do? Give me a large list of certain things.
In Islam, haram refers to actions or things that are explicitly prohibited. The concept is grounded primarily in the Quran, with additional details and clarifications provided in hadiths, sayings, and actions of the Prophet Muhammad. Here's a list of things commonly regarded as haram according to Islamic teachings. 1. Shirk, associating partners with God. The Quran strongly emphasizes monotheism, and shirk, or attributing partners to God, is considered the gravest sin. 2. Murder and unjust killing. The Quran forbids the unjust taking of life, as in Surah Al-Ma'idah 532, which says killing one person unjustly is like killing all of humanity. 3. Adultery and fornication. Sexual relations outside of marriage are prohibited, and the Quran explicitly warns against zina, unlawful sexual intercourse, in Surah Al-Isra 1732. Theft and fraud. Stealing and cheating in business or personal dealings are haram, and harsh consequences are described for those who engage in theft. Surah Al-Ma'idah 538. Alcohol and intoxicants. The consumption of alcohol or any intoxicating substance is prohibited. Surah Al-Ma'idah 590-91. 6. Usury, riba. Earning interest or engaging in usurious practices is forbidden, as it is seen as exploiting others financially. Surah Al-Baqarah 275 to 279. Gambling. Gambling and games of chance are forbidden due to their addictive nature and the financial harm they can cause. Surah Al-Ma'idah 590. 8. Consuming pork. Pork and all pig products are prohibited. Surah Al-Baqarah 273, Rita 53. 9. Backbiting and slander. Speaking ill of others behind their back is compared to eating the flesh of one's dead brother in Surah Al-Hujurat 49:12. 10. Lying and bearing false witness. Honesty is a fundamental value in Islam, and lying, especially in legal matters or to harm others, is haram. 11. Disrespecting parents. The Quran places great emphasis on treating one's parents with respect and kindness. Surah Al-Isra 17:23-24. 12. Dishonoring women's modesty and dress code. Islam prescribes modest dress for both men and women, and intentional immodesty is seen as haram. Surah An-Nur 24:30-31. 13. Engaging in magic or sorcery. Practicing or seeking knowledge of magic is prohibited, as it can lead to shirk and harm to others. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:102. 14. Eating meat not slaughtered in God's name. Muslims are required to eat halal, lawful meat slaughtered in God's name. Surah Al-Ma'idah 5:3. 15. Oppression and injustice. Acts of oppression or injustice, such as exploitation or denial of rights, are condemned in the Quran. 16. Breaking promises or oaths. Fulfilling one's promises is stressed in Islam, and breaking them without a valid reason is haram. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:177. 17. Arrogance and pride. Islam promotes humility, and arrogance is seen as a trait leading to downfall. Surah Luqman 31:18. 18. Harm as against one's own body, self-harm. Islam values the body as a trust from God, so self-harm or suicide is forbidden. Surah An-Nisa 4:29-30. 19. Engaging in bribery. Bribery and corruption are strongly condemned as they contribute to social injustice. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:188. 20. Eating carrion or blood. Consuming dead animals not slaughtered properly and blood is prohibited. Surah Al-Baqarah 2:173. 21. Envy and jealousy. Allowing envy to dictate one's actions is discouraged and is considered spiritually harmful. 22. Disrespecting or abusing animals. Islam teaches compassion towards animals, and harming them unjustly is prohibited. 23. Listening to or engaging in gossip. Gossiping is discouraged as it leads to division and ill feelings. 24. Engaging in homosexual acts. Homosexual acts are regarded as haram according to traditional interpretations of the Quran. Wasting food or resources. Wastefulness is condemned, and Muslims are encouraged to be mindful of their consumption. Surah Al-Araf 7:31. This list covers some of the key prohibitions found in the Quran and expanded upon in the Hadith. Islamic scholars may also interpret additional actions as haram based on Islamic legal principles.
Wow. I mean,
Long
that's
list.
an extensive list. That's an extensive list.
Mr. Hans, I would not rather have you concentrate on the extensiveness of the list. I would rather like you to think this way. Imagine if you were asked instead to count the things that are halal in Islam. Like ChatGPT will just tell you that it cannot be able to count them. And again, to show you more about the beauty of Islam, all of these things that are counted by ChatGPT from the first to the last, all of these harams can be compromised when there is dire need for it. That is the beauty of Islam. It does not just declare it that it's haram and there is no way you can ever do it. It can be compromised, but I'm not saying that anybody should just make up their mind and wait for the time that they will be given the opportunity to compromise anything haram so that they can do it. I'm just showing you the elasticity of the laws in Islam. And from there, you can clearly see that it boils down to the fact that Allah wants us to live a very beautiful, peaceful, and well-focused life on this earth that will enable us to be able to worship Him in the best way. If you analyze the laws critically, all of it is centered around protecting your faith, your religion, protecting your soul, yourself, your body, protecting your mind, protecting your progeny, the family, and protecting your wealth. And these 5 things, believe me, life can never be good on earth when we tamper with these 5 things. As long as we keep these 5 things, the earth will always remain a better place. And that is what all the haram and the declarations are meant to protect.
Definitely.
Extensive. But I mean, if you live your life in that way, I mean, you have to be honest about it. You know, if we're qualifying sin as just breaking the rules, everyone's going to sin at least once or another in their life. In my opinion, is you have to do more good than you sin. And, a lot of it comes down to intention as well. Like, for instance, being close to family. I think everyone should be close to their family. Yeah. But, if you have family members that don't want to be close to you and they're, maybe they're on drugs, maybe they're doing something bad, maybe they're, whatever is going on in their life, they're negative or whatever, then you can try, but you shouldn't be, force the situation. But that's why I do believe that, if everyone did this whole list anyways, or at least close to it, 80-90% of it, then there usually would be no problems within family or anything, even like breaking promises.
I think I have a particular problem with this issue of people always trying to think that messages are meant for all, but not particularly for me. What do I mean? When we talk about, for example, maintaining family ties, the first thing that comes to others, to some people's mind is, what about the family members that don't even care, that don't want to come close, they don't want to reason out and be united as a family? What we should rather be doing is this. When you hear something like this, trusting the source, knowing that this is coming from Allah, this is coming from the Creator, what you should be thinking is, what about me? What is my role in this? What am I supposed to do? This message did not come to me coincidentally. It was meant for your ears. So treat the message like it was meant for you and try to see what you can do first before looking at what others need to do. I am directing this particularly to these two couples and other people that spend a lot of time trying to search out Islam and be like, maybe we still need more, we still need more. No, the truth is clear. You have seen it. Don't treat it like it's meant for, maybe I'm not yet involved in this. So the more you dig in and the more you realize the truth, the more you are going to be held accountable for practicing it. So hasten up and make sure you don't waste no time. Because even if we don't agree on so many things, then the world entirety agrees on one thing. The time that anybody is going to leave this world is not known to them. So if at all you think about what happens to you when you leave this world, do not delay when you have finally discovered the truth.
Is excessively attached to wealth. You shouldn't be attached to wealth or anything. Making fun of other religions, I really love that one. And harmful chemicals. Now that I believe RFK Jr. is going to get into the United States, into a position of power, and hopefully his whole thing is about harmful chemicals in our food and stopping that. I really would like to see that, because there's so many harmful chemicals. There's dyes in our food. There's really a bunch of substances that we don't need in our food anymore. So, seeing that, I really love that. And I mean, there's just so many that I can go on and on. Even the compulsion in religion.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to have compulsion in religion, and you're supposed to let people make their own decisions. And I actually love that. So I don't know if you want to share a couple of yours, Kelly.
Yeah, I mean, of course, a lot of them we know, like the shirk and no eating pork, etc. But it's an extensive list. But if you think about it, you can kind of categorize it down into just a few things. Like one being basically just treat people how you want to be treated. We all know that basically covers a lot of these, as far as, cheating in business and lying, going back on your word, being arrogance, bribery, etc. All that is covered under that. And then also I feel like the other category would be kind of like health, like your body, keeping your body in the best healthy state it can be. That covers all food and consumption related things. And besides that, kind of just being a good person, especially in a relationship. Obviously, adultery, or trying to be not modest on purpose, etc. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. Were any really surprising to you?
I would just say basically whenever they talk about not breaking promises, not cheating in business. I mean, just being an overall ethical person, because we own our own businesses and we started this whole channel. And a lot of times, whenever you talk with people, whenever you talk to people, they're going to try and cheat you, or they're going to try and do things that are basically haram. And you have to identify those people early and stay away from them. So, if that's any of my advice to you guys, I would say to, follow this list as much as you can and do more good than you can bad. So I hope that was enjoyable. That was really interesting for us to hear. So thank you guys for watching the video. Thank you for liking and subscribing and commenting. And thank you to the people that donate to the channel. We need it more than you realize. You guys are helping us keep the channel going. We see every donation. We love you guys. We're praying for every single one of you. And it's just so grateful to be a part of a community of people that believe in God. So thank you guys so much. And we'll see you in the next video.
And if you would take our advice, we advise you to please hasten up and accept the truth. Hasten up and embrace Islam, because that is the truth. May Allah guide you all and keep us all guided in the right path till we leave this world. Please do not go away without subscribing. Turn on the notification button and share the video. May Allah bless you as you do so. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.